we are going to discuss the details about the electric potential. As we know that electric potential is basically is the amount of work done in moving a unit positive charge from from infinity to a particular point, right? So let us now see in detail the what is the electric potential is means. So first we see the definitions. So we can define this electric potential as at any point, let us write it, at any point an electric field is electric field potential is defined as amount of work done in moving a unit test charge. That test charge, for our generalization, we take it as a positive charge, so let us write it unit positive charge, positive test charge from infinity to that point. Now one more term which is important is that there may be some external electric force or field that may be present. So we can define it against like this: test charge from infinity to that point against the electric force of the field. Now this against mean it will act in the direction which is reverse than that of the force of the field. So this signifies, this word against is the symbol or signifies that this force, this electric potential will act in the direction opposite to the electric force of that particular field which may be present. Now by expression we can define, it is defined as V, representation is V, so it will be defined by W by Q0, where W is the work done. We say W is the work done. What is the work done in moving a unit positive test charge? So let us write it. W is work done in bringing a positive charge, that is, suppose it is Q0 from infinity to a point on that electric field, right? And V, this V is potential, it is representation of the potential of that particular point, right? And Q0 is the test charge, you know that. So now in terms of vector calculus, we can represent this electric potential in terms of vector integrals also. Let us see what it is. So in terms of vector integrals, we can write this electric potential at any point, at a point. Suppose the point is represented by A, B, C, whatever you can write. Suppose if I'm taking that point as B. In the electric field is defined as the negative of the line integral, I'm explaining it after, let me write it, then I'll explain. Negative of the line integral of EFI from infinity to that point, right? Or in terms of mathematical expression, we can write that thus VB, or the potential at that point, or potential at point B, can be represented as minus infinite to B E dl, right? This is the expression in terms of vector integrals. Now why this negative term is coming, I have already explained. This negative term is actually because that the unit positive charge is coming from infinity to a particular point against that electric force of that particular field. That means against means it will be acting at the opposite direction. Now if we consider that one of the direction is positive, we simply the reverse is negative. That is why the negative term is coming in this expression. Now we will see the details about electric potential differences and potential in different cases, right? So now we are coming to the discussion related to the potential difference, right? Potential difference, as the name implies, you have heard this term before. So this difference is between, difference means between 2 points, right? What difference, whenever we talk about difference, there will be two cases, conditions shall be there. So only when the two conditions will be there, we can find out the difference between the two conditions or the 2 points that of our concern, right? So we can define this as electric potential difference between 2 points. 2 points, suppose 2 points are there, which are say A and B. In these points are in some electric field. In an electric field is negative of the line integral of E phi. You have studied about this thing, electric field intensity over a path from A to B, right? So if these are the 2 points, suppose these are the 2 points A and B, simply we can write the electric potential difference in terms of this, as per our definition and in terms of vector expressions. We can write that VB minus VA, that is the potential at the point V, and minus potential at the point A, will be defined as per our definition is negative of the line integral of EDL, and that is between point A to B. Now EDL is the EFI, or the electric field intensity, which we are talking about, and throughout the line A to B, we can, by this expression, we can calculate the potential difference. And this negative sign, as I already discussed, this negative sign is because it is acting in the reverse direction, or the direction opposite to that of the field, right? So next we come to the discussion. Next we come to the discussion related to the electric potential due to point charge, right? How to find out the electric potential due to single point charge. So let us now start this discussion. For this we will draw a simple figure. This simple figure, let us plus Q charge is placed here at any point, and this is our point P. Suppose another point is P, and B is another point, A I am taking as another point, and the direction of this electric field E is this, and it is up to infinity, right? So now I am taking this, from here to point P, I am taking this as our distance, taking considering is R, and from here to point A, I am considering this direction X. Now, okay, so what we need to calculate is that we are going to calculate the electric potential at that point P due to the point charge placed at O. Suppose this point is O, so we are going to calculate the electric potential at this point P due to the point charge plus Q, which is placed at O, right? Where O to P distance is, we are taking, considering the distance as R. Okay, so we can write it in OP is equals to R. We are taking. Now, how to calculate this one? So first we will find out the amount of work done that is required to move that unit positive charge from A to B, right? From A to B. So let us consider this A to B as dx, small, so this as small dx. So let us take, now we are going to calculate amount of work done in moving unit positive charge from A to B, right? So how to find it out? So we are finding out amount of work done in moving a unit positive charge from A to B. Okay, where we consider this AB as dx, right? So we can very easily calculate, since we are taking as a differential length dx, we will have also a differential work done, so it is represented by dw, and this will be equal to E in dx, right? So this will be equals to E dx cos of 180 degree. Why 180 degree? Because this is a straight line, right? So this comes as cos 180 degree. Just simply put the value, it will come at minus E dx, right? Now now our goal is to find out the work done. Up till now we have found out the amount of work done in moving unit positive charge from A to B. Now it is our target to find out the total work done in moving unit positive charge from infinity to P, right, from here. Okay, so let us find out the total work done to move that unit positive charge from infinity to the point P. So therefore total work done in moving unit positive charge from infinity to the point P, right? That we can find out simply. How? We will find out the work done that I have just discussed. It will be the negative of line integral between infinity to r, right? Since r we are considering only point P, so we will have to infinity to r. We are omitting this one, this part, so we will write simply E of dx, right, throughout the line. So if we calculate this one, it will come as minus infinity to r. We are simply putting the value of this E, that is the electric field intensity. We have just discussed 4 pi epsilon naught q by x square dx, right? So from here, if we operate, we can have this expression as minus q by 4 pi epsilon naught and minus x infinity to r, and this will be equals to q by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by r minus 1 by infinity, right? That will be equals to q by 4 pi epsilon naught r. So this is your final expression. So the total work done, we have found out that this will be the final expression to the work done that is required in moving a unit positive charge from infinity to the point P. So right now, this is the final expression. So our goal was to find out the electric potential at P, at this point P. I mean, what was our objective? Objective was to find out the electric potential at the point P due to a point charge plus Q, that is this Q, okay, placed at O. So this is the expression by which we can find out the electric potential at the point P due to the point charge plus Q placed at O and taking this distance as R. So simply, if you take the distance as something else, in place of R, you will just have to put that variable only, right? So next we come to the discussion related to our electric flux or electric flux displacement, right? For that, we let us draw a small figure. So this was the figure of an experiment that we have studied earlier, minus Q, right? So it's a simple figure. You have to refer that. You can refer the Faraday's experiments that we have studied earlier, where we have seen that there is charges always resides at the outer surface of a particular any kind of structure, so our conductors, where the charges usually resides at the outer surface. And also we are going to talk about this electric displacement. That means electric displacement means how much of the electric charge particles, since we are talking about static electricity here, so electric displacement means how much charge particles will be induced at the other part of the circuit, say other part of the system. So is plus Q charge is here, so just the opposite, reverse, minus Q will be induced at the other part of the system, okay? Or that is, suppose we are going to talk about this electric flux, or we are referring to this electric displacement or electric flux, right? So what it means? It means displacement of charge from inner to outer surface. Okay, so that is means what by electric flux, what we actually mean? We mean the displacement of the charge particles which are present anywhere is moving from, or the displacement means it is a movement. So displaced, how much it is being displaced. So the charge particles, if it is displaced from one part of the system to the other part of the system, we refer that displacement as our electric flux, right? So it is generally denoted by this expression xi, and this xi is equals to Q. That is, xi will be how much electric flux will be. It is simply that is be equal to the amount of charge particles that is present here in the system. So it cannot exceed the amount of charge particles, as simple as that. So let us consider this as our equation 1, right? So now let us compare it now with comparison to a point charge Q on outer surface of the sphere, or outer sphere, just write it, is assumed to have infinite radius. That means we can, outer surface sphere is assumed to have infinite radius. I mean that means the outer spheres can be as big as you can consider, right? So the electric displacement per unit area in this condition, what just we have discussed. So electric displacement per unit area of a charge Q at the center of sphere of radius, having radius, I mean the sphere has to have some radius. So at the center of the sphere of radius we consider r is or will be given by d equals to q by 4 pi r square, right? We represent it as equation 2. Okay, so now this is actually the electric displacement density or the flux density. This is the definition of electric flux density or the displacement density. So let us write it. Now you have to remember this one, this expression. This is the electric displacement density or flux density, right? Now for the same point charge Q, let us find out the electric field intensity. I am omitting it. You can just go back and refer to the expression. So I am just omitting it now. So now we are going to find out the EFI at the same point. I mean for the same point EFI that is occurring due to the same point charge Q. So let us find out for same point charge Q, EFI is defined as you know, EFI is defined as E is equals to Q by 4 pi epsilon r square. You can say epsilon naught is also you can take. So this is our expression 3, right? So from equation 3 and 2, you know, previously we have got that in equation 2 we have got this d equal to q by 4 pi r square, right? You know, epsilon was not there, 4 pi r square. Epsilon was not there, yes, 4 pi r square. So here we are getting this EFI equal to q by 4 pi epsilon r square. Now this was equation 2 previously. Now from these two equations we can write, so from 2 and 3 we can write that D is of course a vector, which is that is the electric flux density or electric displacement density represented by D will be equals to epsilon E. Okay, where epsilon is the constant term and E is the EFI. So this is the very important expression which we will be referring in our future discussions also. You need to remember this one. Okay. So now in terms of So in terms of flux density, we can write d vector d is phi given by phi equals to surface integral of this d ds, right? This is the final expression or the original expression of electric flux displacement or flux density, which is given as this xi equals to surface integral of d vector ds, right? And just you have to memorize few properties first, the most important property I am telling you, it is independent of the medium. That is, this xi or the electric flux displacement or electric flux density will be, this will be independent, this is a property, independent of the medium. So you have to remember that whatever medium that we are, if we can consider, this will be this will not be dependent on the individual medium of our function, right? So let us now give you a small representation of how these electric lines of forces are or electric flux lines are. So flux lines can be, if say a positive point charge plus q is placed here, this flux line can go outward like this. Okay, so if from positive charge, I mean if a positive charge is placed at the center, the electric flux or the lines of forces will go out from this positive charge. If there is some negative charge is present, it will come towards it. This is the difference, it will come towards it if the negative charge is there. You have to remember this, that from positive charge it always go outside, from negative charge it always comes towards the negative charge. Now if there are two conditions are there, if suppose one positive charge, let us omit this equation, I mean figure. So if continuously there are some positive charges are present and negative charge is present, so what will be the electric flux or electric orientation of the electric flux lines? It will be simple, that we know that from here electric positive, it will go outside, so and it will come inside here like this. So from here it will go like this. See, this will be the direction of orientation of electric flux lines. So it will go like this, and it will come as here. I mean, if you consider that this thing is happening, this line which is going out from this thing is very clear that from positive it is going directly to the negative, but from this line it will go and come around here, it will go down and come around here, like the same thing is happening. This is the orientation of the electric flux lines if positive and negative charges are present simultaneously, right? This is all about the discussion for today. We will going to continue for the next class, but before we end, I am going to give you a very important but simple problem. I would like that if you try, and if there is problem, I will show you how to do this. And show the problem goes like this. Show that for electric lines of force, dx by ex equals to dy by ey equals to dz by ez. So this is the problem. You have to try by yourself. If you face any problem, I will solve you. I will help you to solve it, right? So we will see you in the next class.